Many people are working harder, earning more, and still feeling like they're falling behind financially every year. The reason often goes beyond individual spending habits. It's tied to the changing value of money itself. As inflation pushes up the cost of housing, groceries, transportation, healthcare, and everyday essentials, the purchasing power of the dollar slowly declines. Today we will talk about the dollar is losing value faster than your salary can keep up. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel. 10. Most people think earning more money means getting ahead. For many workers, the financial goal seems straightforward: get raises, increase income, and life should gradually become easier. And on the surface, that logic makes sense. If your salary increases over time, you should theoretically have more purchasing power and financial freedom. But many people are discovering something frustrating in today's economy. Even after receiving promotions, raises, or better-paying jobs, life still feels expensive. Housing costs remain high, groceries cost more, insurance keeps rising, and everyday expenses continue climbing faster than expected. This creates the uncomfortable feeling of working harder and earning more, while somehow falling behind financially at the same time. 9. Inflation quietly reduces purchasing power every year. The biggest reason this happens is inflation. Inflation means the value of money slowly declines over time as goods and services become more expensive. A dollar today buys less than it did years ago because prices continue rising across the economy. This affects nearly every part of daily life: food, rent, transportation, healthcare, utilities, education, and entertainment. The problem is that inflation often works quietly in the background. People focus on how much money they earn numerically, while paying less attention to how much real-world value that money actually represents. 8. Wage growth often fails to match real cost increases. While salaries do increase over time for many workers, wage growth frequently struggles to keep pace with rising living costs. Employers may offer annual raises, but if inflation rises faster than income growth, workers effectively lose purchasing power despite technically earning more money. This is why many households feel financially stretched even during periods of economic growth. Their income increases, but the surrounding costs increase even faster, leaving little real improvement in financial flexibility. 7. Housing costs are consuming larger portions of income. One of the clearest examples of this pressure is housing. In many cities, rent and home prices increased dramatically over the past decade. Mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance costs also rose significantly. Housing now consumes much larger portions of household income than it did for many previous generations. This leaves less money available for saving, investing, or building long-term wealth. Even people with decent salaries often feel trapped financially, because housing expenses absorb such a large percentage of earnings. 6. Everyday necessities became more expensive simultaneously. The financial pressure many households feel today is not caused by one single expense alone. Food prices, transportation costs, healthcare premiums, childcare, energy bills, and insurance costs all increase together across many economies. Individually, each increase may seem manageable, but combined, they create enormous strain on household budgets. This cumulative effect is what makes many people feel like their paycheck disappears faster than ever before. 5. Debt magnifies inflation's impact. Debt becomes even more dangerous during periods where wages lag behind inflation. Credit card balances, car loans, mortgages, student loans, and financing payments lock future income into fixed obligations, while living costs continue rising around them. This creates financial pressure, because households must manage both debt repayment and increasing everyday expenses simultaneously. As inflation reduces purchasing power, debt payments consume larger portions of real income over time. 4. Savings alone struggle to protect wealth. Another hidden problem is that traditional savings often fail to keep up with inflation. Many savings accounts pay interest rates lower than the actual rise in living costs. This means saved money may technically grow slightly, while losing real-world purchasing power at the same time. People who rely entirely on cash savings without investing in productive assets often experience slow financial erosion over long periods, without immediately noticing it. 3. Asset owners often benefit more than wage earners. One major reason wealth gaps expand during inflationary periods is because assets tend to behave differently than salaries. Real estate, stocks, businesses, commodities, and other productive assets may increase in value alongside inflation, or even outperform it. Wage earners, however, rely heavily on salaries that usually adjust more slowly. This creates a growing divide between people who own appreciating assets and people who depend almost entirely on labor income. Modern financial systems increasingly reward ownership more aggressively than wages alone. 2. The economy depends on continuous spending. Modern economies are heavily driven by consumption. People work, earn income, spend money, and repeat the cycle continuously. But when inflation rises faster than wages, consumers often rely more heavily on debt just to maintain the same lifestyle. This keeps spending flowing through the economy temporarily, while quietly increasing long-term financial pressure on households. The result is an economic system where many people continue participating actively while feeling progressively less financially secure. 1. The real problem is not just low salaries, it's that money itself is losing purchasing power. The deeper truth about modern inflation is not simply that things became more expensive, it is that the relationship between wages, assets, debt, and purchasing power changed dramatically over time. Because the truth is simple: when housing, food, healthcare, insurance, and daily expenses rise faster than salaries for long periods, workers may technically earn more while becoming financially weaker in real terms. And once you understand that inflation quietly rewards ownership of appreciating assets while reducing the value of idle cash and slow-growing wages, you begin seeing why so many people feel trapped in a system where earning more money no longer guarantees meaningful financial progress. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.